Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Dr. Bati.
Great Malabite.
Good morning, Mr. Husseini. And good morning, Miss Omoran.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Why are you so official with Adesua this morning?
Everybody.
I thought you would say Adesua.
Now, let's start with these day newspapers. The lead story: equip police to combat insurgency. Northeast governors urge Buhari. Warn insurgents are stepping up recruitment of members. President, intelligence shows army ought to do better. Says APC could have overrun opposition parties in 2019. That's a mild way they have put it. But let's look at other papers, how they are reporting the meeting between the president and the governors from the Northeast zone. The Nigerian Tribune: Northeast governors tell Buhari why insurgents are able to recruit more, while the Daily Trust has a stark reality of what is happening on ground. Boko Haram kills 223 civilians, 89 security agents in 7 months. Insurgents recruiting more members. Northeast governors tell Buhari, you have to do better. President wants security chiefs again. Provide adequate security. Sultan Christian Association of Nigeria tells the federal government. While the Vanguard newspaper has another dimension: insecurity. Defend yourselves. Catholic bishops tell Nigerians, as Northeast governors ask Buhari to address root causes of Boko Haram insurgency. Now, another aspect of that meeting, a discussion that came up, the Daily Independent, and this should interest Nigerians a lot. We could have used army to overrun states. Buhari says our mistakes in 2019 cost APC some states. Vows to restore peace in Northeast others. Ruben, before you question the headline, because you mentioned that earlier, when I read this text last night, I wasn't putting on my glasses. I had to quickly get my glasses to be sure I was reading right. The statement of the president on we could have used the army to overrun the opposition in 2019. The Nigerian Bar Association has responded to that, saying that the president was not doing anybody a favor by adhering to the rule of law in 2019. And the president perhaps needs to be reminded that in 2015, when he won, there was a commander-in-chief who was the president, who could have overrun the opposition if he was not a respecter of the rule of law. So, very unfortunate statement coming from the president at a time we have been warning on this program that a Edo election that is just around the corner, we don't want to see abuse of the so-called federal might. But back to the main story of this day. Ruben, I leave the floor to you. Rufai and Husseini and Adesua, my sister.
Well, I mean, don't be surprised if, we get a statement before the end of today to indicate that...
amending the president's statement?
That the president was quoted out of context.
Okay.
Which is the standard phrase.
We await that. Ruben, is that how you do it at Aso Rock? You blame the press for misquoting you when you talk amiss.
In any case, I mean, the president was saying basically that the federal government has been very humane in prosecuting the war against terror. And I think that the key points coming out of that meeting, as I said earlier, one, the governors expressing their helplessness, the governors of the Northeast also using the opportunity to make a few recommendations. And one of the recommendations they made is that, look, there should be greater synergy, cooperation, within government at all levels to be able to address the issue. Many Nigerians will be surprised that, that suggestion is coming at this point. But I think it was, a good idea. The meeting was held in good faith for the governors of the Northeast to go to the president and say, Mr. President, we have a serious problem. This problem is not being solved. These are some of the suggestions we have. And I just hope that with this meeting that took place, that there will be follow-up. Because one of the major issues in Nigeria's governance process is that these meetings are held, the right noises are made, there isn't enough follow-up. Now, two, there are people, Nigerians, who criticize President Buhari, and they say he's not aware of this, he's not aware of that. But at that meeting, from the statements attributed to the president, he's clearly, fully aware of the security challenge that the country faces. He admitted, for example, that from intelligence reports, that not enough is being done. And he gave a commitment to the governors of the Northeast that the military needs to do a lot more. But he must go beyond that and provide the necessary resources. He also made it clear that he is aware that his administration rests on three major planks: security, the fight against corruption, and the economy, and that the government has a responsibility to address the security challenges that have been reported. Now, these are things that we all know, but it is, he also said his government is thinking about the omissions with regard to security. But I guess the expectation of Nigerians is that the government should go beyond thinking and act and ensure that, look, the national security strategy is put in place, is activated, is operationalized for the benefit of the people. The governors also raised concern about the economic situation. They say people do not have access to farmlands, that the economy of the Northeast is affected. All those issues are no-brainers. What is important, what the people of the Northeast and the people of Nigeria will be interested in is what is done. Because we now have a situation whereby governors are not safe, former governors are not safe, ordinary people are endangered, a lot of people have been displaced in the northeastern part of the country, almost the equivalent of a war situation. And we just hope that, beyond all these meetings and statements of reassurance, that we will see a difference within a short time.
For me, talk is good. It's good to sit down.
One area that can be quickly addressed, the this-day lead story, equip the police to play a role. Recall when Sunday Adewusi was the Inspector General of Police under Shagari, police had APC. Can we do that now? Armored Personnel Carrier.
It's possible. It's possible to equip the police to play a role. In fact, it's supposed to be the job of the police to maintain internal security. So we should revisit that. We should equip them. We should give them the necessary funding. I mean, when all of this insurgency started, when the first fight broke out in Borno, it was the police that went in there. But at the same time, if the military is prosecuting this war, we should effectively equip the military. Like I said, it's good to talk. We can talk all the good rhetorics. But action is important. Action is priceless. It is action that will make people see that we are doing something about it. And there is time for action. Because like you said, the economy and the livelihood of people of that area is being decimated by the day. Most of them are staying in IDPs. You think it's easy for them? I've been to an IDP once. It's crazy. When they had the flood in Delta, I went to the IDP camp in Ughelli. It's crazy. Nobody wants to live in that condition forever. Those people want to go back home and renew their families and renew their livelihoods. But they need action on ground. And that's why we're calling on every necessary body in place to bring action to bear. We want to hear good talk too, but we want to see action. If we see action, we will commend.
You recall the exclusive interview we had with the Chief of Army Staff earlier in the year, and he talked about the misconception of the role of the military. And I think that, it is very critical for us to look at the role of the police in all of this.